to take on this conversation is a security analyst and a former Commissioner for Justice, Kaduna State, Mark Jacob. Also joining in is Brigadier General Sani Usman, retired, former Army spokesman. Good to have you both on tonight. Let me start with you, Brigadier General. What specific decisions do you expect to come out of President Tinubu's meeting with the security chiefs? And considering that this is not the first time the president will be meeting with security chief, there was one meeting in March. How does this meeting shape the government's approach to security in the short and long term?
Good evening, and thank you so much for having me on your program. I think it is not just, it is not security chiefs, rather the intelligence chiefs, because, you know, some components of the security architecture are missing. When you look at the military and so on, who are deeply involved in counter-insurgency operations across length and breadth of the Federation, and of course, internal security operations. So basically, it is the intelligence. And I think this is good in the sense that because everything is predicated on intelligence, but it remains to be seen to what extent these issues will be harmonized so that beyond the intelligence being, you know, gotten, whether it is being used in the most actionable manner, and to what extent are they involving the other components of the security architecture and the Nigerian society as a whole. But one thing is clear, beyond all these meetings, I think there is need for, you know, renewed vigor in terms of dealing with these security challenges. But I'm quite pleased that some of the security chiefs, they are already in the field. I've seen that the Chief of Army Staff is already in Kwara State, and I believe some part of Niger State. And I believe they have given marching orders to the military. But of course, it is not just the military. The other component need to complement the effort. Take, for instance, if you are talking about what happened somewhere in Borgu district or local government, so to speak, the criminal elements have been hibernating within the society for the past 5 years or so to speak. So what happened? Why is it that it is just now that people are just knowing about it and all the rest of the things? So intelligence is very key. So I expect beyond the harmonization of the intelligence, and there will be synergy of effort, and of course empowering those responsible or a kind of agencies to properly react to the intelligence that is being given. Because to a large extent, without intelligence, the security agencies could not do, may not do much.
All right, Mr. Jacob, this question may sound a bit weird, but there are those who say this move might just be more of a show to reassure Nigerians that the government is working more than the impact of what they expect to come off this meeting, considering that the military and the security agencies have been working over time to address the situation.
Well, if Nigerians interpret the action as cosmetic, they are not too far from the truth. However, it is a little bit positive that the federal government is moving in the right direction. Before this administration, we saw a lot of noise without action, where the federal government, even armed or getting relevant information on activities of terrorist groups, will remain dormant and will do nothing until attacks occur. Then people are sent to the side. You will several times the president of this country will ask Commissioner, IG of Police and Chief of Army Staff to go to Benue. They will not go. Then he will come to say he didn't know that they didn't go. Well, for me, it's a positive thing that at least the president today is summoning the service chiefs to come and brief him on what they are doing. And honestly, Nigerians are waiting for better stories than what we have seen. the affected communities keep saying that the attackers hibernate and stay within the forests near them. They keep saying that they know where these attackers come from. They keep saying that they even know some of the attackers. So why does the Nigerian agencies of security, the investigative agencies, why is it that it is difficult for them to apprehend or stop these attacks before they occur? Why are the
These are pertinent questions, very pertinent questions that, I mean, everyone continues to ask. And one would expect that meetings like this would not be just when there is an escalation of security situation in the country before the president will be having meetings with the security chiefs, that this should be more publicized. But let me come back to you, Brigadier General Sani Usman. Talk to us about how the current security situation impacts the country's stability, and what would be your recommendations for meetings like this for the military, police, and other security agencies?
Thank you so much. Even though I've lost the latter part of your question, but if I may answer the first.
Okay, I can take it again, sir, if you don't mind. I can go ahead and take it again. I was just asking how the current security situation impacts the country's stability, and what would be your recommendation for meetings like this for the military, police, and other security agencies. I mean, oftentimes security experts like yourself say they cannot divulge everything, but there are some strategies that could be shared, aren't they?
Yeah, of course. First and foremost, the issue of impact is a common knowledge that it doesn't argue well with the peace and stability of this country. You can imagine, with the span of 2 weeks, we have lost precious souls, precious Nigerians that could have contributed to the development of this country, to the, security challenges that we have had in particularly Plateau and Benue State. As a matter of fact, it may surprise you, I was also in Benue State yesterday, and one of the places that we visited, in fact, they were so elated that with the stories, with that kind of situation they are in, that people have confidence in, coming to them. So you can understand it is affecting the socio-economic well-being of the Nigerian society, not just the affected people. So you can go on and go on, to enumerate quite a number of negative consequences of this security challenges.
So maybe you could just focus on the recommendations then.
Oh, okay. In terms of the recommendation, of course, they have started on a good note, and the former Commissioner of Justice has stated that, and we need to see more synergy of effort. This summoning is just that of the intelligence community. The other components are missing. So we look forward to see more synergy of effort, within the intelligence community, and of course the other responders, talking about the police, the military that are deployed in internal security, and beyond that, what other support elements will the government give to them so that they can react more appropriately in terms of logistics and of course synergy of effort. I'm so happy that part of the recommendation is that they should work with the state governors and possibly with the local government, because most of the states have elections, local government elections. So the issue of constructive engagement within the component of Nigerian society is one thing. Then the other one is to make sure that there is synergy of effort among security agencies, be it the intelligence community and other component of the security architecture. And more importantly, the continuous sensitization of the Nigerian society, because you see, this security situation, they did not come from the blues. The people who are quite aware of some of these challenges, it's those that they are helpless, now that they need a listening ear. But beyond that, again, this security, challenges, they don't come from this.
All right, let me interject quickly in the interest of time and go over to...
the issue of justice is very important.
Yeah, Mr. Jacob, I just want to jump off what he said, sensitizing the society, sensitization. We talk a lot about community engagement, you know, to build trust and cooperation in addressing these security challenges. Is it not time that the government do more to leverage civil society organizations, religious leaders and community leaders in achieving a lasting peace? Because, I mean, there's a lot of talk about community engagement, but we don't see that in real term happening. Or is this something that has to do with intelligence gathering and we may not see it as well?
Certainly there is a need for synergy between the communities and government. But we cannot have that if the communication between the federal government and the states or the state governments is not coherent. I was particularly perturbed when I read the statement credited to Bayo Onanuga the other day, wherein he was calling on the governor of Plateau State to stand up and stop the killings. I was really, really disturbed because there is no way we can have discordant tunes from the federal government and the state. The state governor had explained his condition and the situation in his state. The best I expected was for the federal government to say, okay, we have heard, but we're going to work in synergy with the state government to look at this situation.
But Mr. Jacob, I spoke with a representative of the state governor yesterday, an official of that state government, and they don't seem to hold any grudge with the statement that the president has made, especially when you look at it from the angle that the president, in that statement you're referencing from Adenuga, Onanuga, I beg your pardon, he said that the presidency has engaged with the state government over time and made suggestions, and perhaps it's just an expression of frustration that maybe the advice that's given is not being taken.
No, really, the language was that there is a situation of tit for tat and that this circle of tit for tat should stop. I thought that was not necessary. If you go into a situation with that mindset, the communities may not cooperate with you. So there's a requirement for deep research into the deep causes of these issues so that when officials of government are speaking, they speak what is correct. And then you use civil society organizations, use the non-governmental organizations, like I said, and of course, leverage on available data at the abundance of government at the state level and local government to prepare your speeches. It doesn't augur well when we begin to hear discordant tones from the different levels of government. And I'm happy that this is being done. This meeting, the next level should be at the state level, where the security chiefs at the state level are brought together to discuss. I like what the general has said, that there is need for interagency cooperation, and there is absolute need for winning the confidence of the people so that government is seen as a collaborator in bringing peace and harmony to the people.
That state level is also
a group that sees the people as enemy.
All right, Mr. Jacob, the state level you recommended is also something a lot of persons have talked about. I think it goes in line with the community suggestion, getting them more involved. Brigadier General, sir, let's talk about self-defense. General T.Y. Danjuma and some other stakeholders have advised Nigerians that they must defend themselves and not depend on the government. But the National Security Advisor has warned against such move, that it might cause anarchy. I'd like your thoughts on it.
This is a real current decimal. I think it's just like, how do I liken it? The thing is that when you look at it, it is easier said than done. But of course, he who wears the shoes knows where it pinches. It's just like you saying that people should not pay ransom when their loved ones are kidnapped. Of course, that is the best insight to stop kidnapping. But of course, have you empowered the security agencies so that they can be able to deal with this security challenge manifested in military and kidnapping? That is one question. Then the other one self-defense, you know, definitely is normal, is legal, but where communities will take off, take up arms against
I
other
apologize to
communities or
interject again.
I'm
I'm told we've run out of time for this
So-
conversation. I'm so sorry to interject again. So I'm hoping we could have this again. Thank you for speaking with us, Mr. Jacob and Brigadier General Usman. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.